Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are discussing about application load balancer by using EC2 instances. Before that, what is Elastic Application Load Balancer? In Elastic Application Load Balancer is managed by Amazon Web Services and it automatically distributes the uh, application traffic by using different targets in one or more availability zones. It's called Elastic Application Load Balancer. If suppose if for example in Netflix and some of the times the people, the end users has all of a sudden come to the thousands, lakhs of people came came to the application at a time. The application has been crashed. On that time, load balancers are to prevent the um to control the traffic and to distribute different availability zones to give the data give their data by using by using we are by using application load balancers are used to s- more various applications. So let's get started. So let's start our EC2 instance. Let's go to the EC2 instance, launch instance. This is the dashboard of EC2 instances. Lo- So let's get started. Give one name. The name called web app 1 Amazon Linux by default only. I am selecting as Amazon Mission Image. AMI I am going to select as Amazon Linux 2 kernel. And instance type I'm going to by default only and keep as T2 micro. There is no key pair in this. So I'm going to create the new key pair web app 1. I am going to create as network settings. In network settings, I am going to take as 1A. I am going to taking as 1A, 1A subnet. VPC is by default only, so I'm not changing that. Here I am going to change the add security group. I'm going to create. Here I am going to create as HTTP. HTTP the port number is 80. The port number is 80. And this is port TCP. TCP is nothing but transfer control protocol. I am going to select as anywhere, and I am going to taking as advanced details. In advanced details, this settings I'm not changing by default only. I'm kept it here. Scroll here. I am going to give there one data that is called user data. This data I'm going to give as here. This data is app1 server. What is user data? User data is nothing but it is a prerequisites. In order to determine to give their commands in step-by-step manner by using bash script. In order to in first step you see you can update the terminal. You can update the server by using command called sudo yum update -y to update the server. M is nothing but youth update youth yellow dog update modifier. That is the full form of M. And second step, first of all, you can update the server. Then after you can install the HTTPD by using command called sudo yum install -y httpd, and then after you can enable the httpd by using command called sudo systemctl enable httpd. Then after you can start the httpd, means sudo systemctl start httpd. In this last step, we're going to give their message by using command called sudo echo. Echo is one command. Sudo echo hello from EC2 APP-1-Server. In this message, we are going to copy the var, copy the folder of var www html. In HTML folder, we have to create their index.html file. In that file, we have to copy this message. Hello from EC2 APP-1-Server. Let's going to launch instance. EC2 instance has been created successfully. Let's going to start another instance. Again, web app 2. I'm going to take name as web app 2. And here I'm going to select by default Amazon Linux. Here Amazon emission image I'm going to select as Amazon Linux 2 kernel. Here I am going to select by default only T2 micro, and here I am going to create another new key pair, that is web app 2, and create a new key pair. And here I am going to select as network settings. In this network settings I am going to select as 1B, and here I am going to create I am going to add security group one rule, that is HTTP. I'm going to taking as type as HTTP, and here source type I'm going to select as anywhere, and then I'm going to take advanced details. In this advanced details, I'm not by default only. I'm not giving any details. I'm not going to change any details. Here I am going to give their data. In this data I'm going to change their app to server. In the server, I'm going to give the prerequisites like commands in step-by-step format. Sudo yum update y to update the server and to install the HTTPD. Then after to enable the HTTPD, then you start their HTTPD. Then after you can give their allow from EC2 app to server message. In this message we have to copy to the folder called var www.html. In HTML folder we have to create by using touch command. We have to create a file called index.html. In that file you have to copy this message. Let's then we can launch the instance. Launch has been created successfully. Go to the instances again and refresh. Yeah. So I can go to the load balancer. Uh, I'm sorry, target balancers. Here I am going to select as target balancers. Scroll. This is load balancing. I am going to select as target groups. In this target groups, I am going to select as create target group. In the by default only, I am keeping this is the dashboard of target groups. I am going to select as instances by default only. I am not changing any of them. I am going to give their one name, application load balancer, ALP. Target group name I am going to giving as ALP. I am not changing anything. IPv4 I am by using by default only. I am not changing. Here I am going to protocol version is I am not changing. HTTP1 is only by default only. I am keeping and kept. And then after next. And then here I am going to select two instances. Include as pending below. I am going to select as include as pending below. And then I am going to create. I am there. Then I am going to click the create target group. Created successfully. Let's go into the load balancers. In this load balancers, I am going to create load balancer. Here I am going to select as application load balancer. First one, create. Here I am going to select as ALB, application load balancer. Here I am not changing any of the scheme. I am by default only I am giving internet facing. Here also load balancer IP address type. Here also I am going to giving as a by default only IPv4, IPv4. And then network mapping also I am not changing. By default only I am keeping. Here I am going to select as availability zones of ES East 1A and B. ES East 1B. And then I am going to select as here two instances by default. Here I am going to select click as instance 1 and instance 2 of security groups. And then I am going to refresh target default action. And then I am going to select as ALB. We can attach the target group here. Rest of the settings I am not changing. I am going to start a create load balancer. I am going to click the create load balancer. It's wait for 1 minute or 1 or 2 minutes. Then after this status will be inactive. We can copy this DNS name. So DNS domain name system. DNS means domain name system. Let's wait for 1 minute. Application load balancer means it distributes the application traffic. Traffic is nothing but users, end users. It's simple matter. End users traffic means it distributes the application traffic by controlling the load balancers with different availability zones to distribute the data with different servers by using load balancers. So load balancers wa- uh, balancers was managed by Amazon Web Services. It automatically distributes the application traffic and by using EC2 instances, target groups, load balancers, and rest of and etc. By using load balancers, I refresh. I'm going to refresh once. Let's say I'm going to create load balancers, and again I am going to refresh once. Status inactive. Status inactive. So I'm going to select as DNS name, and taking as a press browser, press tab, and going to copy, enter. Here see, EC2 APP-1-Server. Here is the final output. So I'm going to refresh app1 server. Again, I'm going to give a app1 server is gaming by using load application load balancer. See how how it will change. How the changing easy to app to server or and also app1 server, app2 server. Dislike. Please like, share, subscribe to my channel, and please give valuable support for me to it will hope to reach this video for all. Please like, share, subscribe to my channel. Please give me support. Thank you.